Okay, as I earlier mentioned that we are going to have a virtual lesson, and this is what is going to happen. I'm going to share with you some of the most friendly ways of getting to know how to deal with iCompute. But before we get into that, let me just share with you what iCompute.
But before we get into that, let me just share with you what iCompute.
Somebody's okay. So very quickly, I believe you must have heard about this iCompute. Are you able to see my screen? Guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So we are going to talk about
Yes.
iCompute. iCompute is a new recommended MMSHA computer curriculum. So if you are going to be a lover of our studies, computer, so get used to this term iCompute. So what is really an iCompute? It's simply a curriculum that allow us as learners or computer study students to interact more freely and more creative in coming up with our own concepts and developing some of the basic games that we can make and maybe learn from it and enjoy our own free time from our own. I've tried to share some of the concept with the Tech Zone Club. So if some of you are members there, I believe you've seen some of the concept I've shared in that club. So what are some of the ways of implementing what a compute curriculum study for primary is? We require some of the softwares that I've mentioned in our previous meetings or classes. Scratch. How many of us have heard about Scratch?
No.
Have you heard about Scratch?
Yes.
No.
Oh, great. Now, Scratch works in a very simple way. You go to your browser. Let me just before we go to that, iCompute review on what iCompute is. It makes teaching computing to primary pupils easier. It's well packaged and inspiring, engaging with activities like codes, but not that serious codes that is done in university level, because codes are done at the university level when you specify which career you want to take. But we are going to give you some of the basic tips on how to make codes to come up with some games that will make your engagement with computers or interactive session with computers more lively than just typing on computers and making maybe presentation PowerPoint as opposed to what we've been doing on Microsoft programs. But in the real sense, we are not abandoning Microsoft because it is very key to us, very key to you, and even to the coming generation. I can't say we are writing off packages. Otherwise, this is a very interactive program that will engage learners and to encourage them be a little bit more creative on ways they use computers. So there is a breakdown on how we are going to implement the program from different age brackets, especially those who are in pre-primary school and primary school and the senior school, as the CBC says. So if you can see where we have the learning unit, we have the learning goals, we have the outcomes. So the units that you need to know at this introductory part, we have what we call I make music, then I make media, I make video. You will learn to make music with iCompute programs. You learn how to make or edit your own media files, how to make or edit music videos or any kind of clip that you will come across. We'll teach you how to interact with the Scratch and make your own videos. You can make your own play games, movies. I believe you can see what I'm pointing. We can find patterns, logical, organize, search online using iCompute. So it is going to be more interactive than what we've been doing with the Microsoft programs. Otherwise, let me just share with you another part. Now this is grade 7. Okay, let me share that. Just a minute, just a minute. So we are going to relate iCompute as well as with other disciplines like science, information technology, digital literacy. Those who are in primary 4 to, preschool to primary 4 are currently doing what we call the CBC curriculum, which they do what we term as digital literacy. But not so many of us come to understand what digital literacy is about. In my text here, we have, I've mentioned the computing is in the national curriculum for focuses on 3 strands. That is, number 1, computer science. The children use software such as Scratch to code, write instructions, take accounts of variables and improve the effectiveness of commands they are writing. So in computer science, we are going to learn on how to use some of the software, like I mentioned, the Scratch, which we are going to learn how to use the simple codings and come up with certain programs that will be of value to us and our development in ICT. Another part is information and technology. This aspect is similar to the more traditional view of ICT, where children will learn how to use word processing program to present information, including photographs, videos, research, web pages. We also expect the children to be able to analyze their learning and target their presentation to a particular. So information and technology in this case, excuse me, is simply going to take us back what we've been doing currently in Microsoft packages, just what you've been going through with in your very previous classes. So that means, like what I earlier mentioned, that we are not going to abandon the curriculum that we've been doing under Microsoft packages. The last part and the third part is the digital. You can go with me here. In this strand, the learners are supposed to understand how to use the internet and technology safely and respectfully. Digital literacy. Right now, the world has changed. The new normal has come, and things are working basically on online basis. Right now, we're doing I could mention days, maybe in the past days, you could ask me, and teacher, how are we going to do this? Right now, you are able to do it. So digital literacy has come, and I believe it's going to conquer the world. So you need to know what is safe for you and what you really need to get from your online lessons. Some of us, or some of the learners today, have abused the privilege that they have been given to access the internet. They get the information that is not relevant to them. With digital literacy in this strand, the learners are supported to understand how to use internet and technology safely and respectfully. They are taught the different methods of digital communication that will support the learning, as well as encouraging them to become discerning of digital content. The learners are taught about online safety so as to know what to do if they do come across material that are unsuitable on the internet. So please, after you are done with your lessons online, don't go and search for information that is not resourceful to you, not of benefit to you, and information that can hinder your academic way of. Now, those are the three core areas where iCompute is going to focus the concern on. Like I mentioned, I will share with you now. We are just doing an introduction to iCompute, and I need to give this basic information that you need in our concurrent or subsequent lessons. Guide to get the software that are necessary for this course and how to work with them within the programs that I will share. So definitions of some of the terms that you will come across iCompute. iCompute is comprehensively primary computing schemes of work, just like what we've been working with on Microsoft, for teaching computing to pupils aged 3 to 11. You know what age you are supposed to leave school, as a primary level, that is. So iCompute is focusing on age 3 to 11. But I believe some of you are still there in between the age bracket I've mentioned, including step-by-step computing lessons plus plans, pupils' worksheets, and computing resources we are trusted by and used in thousands of schools around the world. So iCompute is not only being used in MMSHA. Some of those schools that produce the top brains in ICT or technology world are learning through this. So I must say, in the country or in the region, we are better placed. We're already getting a step, and maybe if our focus remains steady in iCompute, I believe we are going to get to a better place than what we hopefully was to get. So how do schools make use of iCompute? Mostly in the UK, this is where the curriculum was developed. So computing at school is taught via iCompute in those who have adopted the curriculum, which has been written and matched the national curriculum. Actually, from what we are giving, we've given the age bracket and some of the content that we are supposed to share with you as learners. It does match the national curriculum aims for computer studies. Enables computing to be taught as discrete lesson following progressive schemes of work for key stages, stage 1 and key stage 2. These are some of the content that are shared in the UK, and the curriculum, the iCompute curriculum as they adopt it. So the content, what are the content that are in iCompute? We'll go through introduction, units, overviews, continuous provisions, possible softwares and apps for continuous provisions. So these are what we are going to cover in our lessons. If I may make it a little bit bigger, bold, I believe you can be able to see that. So these are the content that we are going to do in iCompute. So most precisely, what we're doing today is the part 1, and that is the introduction, this one. So if you are asked today to explain what iCompute is, I think I'd explain what basically that is. So if I may take you back to where we started, I said this is a curriculum that is meant to make computing more interactive, more friendly, and more creative way of learning computer or ICT than just the typing and the PowerPoint presentation programs that we've been doing on Microsoft packages. So that is that. Maybe just before I let you go today, I would like you to do something. So for those who are available are online right now, I will share with you on how to get the program online and install it in the computer. Actually, this program is offline program. Once you download it and install it in your PC, you don't need an internet to work with it. So if I may just show that. If I may maybe show. I believe you are able to see what is happening. Yes. Let's go to Google.
Yes.
Google, search Google. There we go. And now type, if you have your PC, or you can do it at your own time, you can type Scratch.
I don't have a PC.
You don't have a PC?
I don't have a computer or a laptop.
Okay.
We do have. I have.
I have it.
I do not.
For those who are unprivileged to have PCs at home, please, and it's very unfortunate that we cannot encourage you to maybe have a shared device, but I don't know how I can help. There are certain things that we really pray to come to a stop, but that's how life is right now. So for those who are likely to have PCs at home, please kindly follow my instructions. I will share this video link via my YouTube channel later on. After you type Scratch, you will try and get the latest version of that software. Now, this is the software that we are going to use in most cases to implement the curriculum. So you click on maybe the current version is version 4.1 free download. It is searching on the top right. Now we have it there. You can see there is Scratch 1.4, there is Scratch 4.1 suggestions, there is Scratch latest version for 2020, free download. If you download this, let me just take you through the process. Now, if you download the Scratch here, I believe you can follow up. If you download, you click on download, there will be another window pane that will open. This one. Now download it from that. It's downloading down. If you can see here, actually it is complete. And maybe if I may open when done, we wait for it to open. So now as we wait, this is the program that will guide you on how to do simple codes, create your own games, and have fun with it. Now, okay, it is downloading.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. So, okay, in my downloads, if I may check, from my downloads. Okay, you can see we have Scratch next. Are you able to see that? The internet is unable. You're not able to see?
No,
Yes, I can see.
Oh,
I can't see.
Me too.
okay, just a minute.
Marta, zinakwambia nitakukata ugocho. Mtonya mtu. Haifai.
Yes? Hey, somebody is playing. Okay, the downloads, we have Scratch.
I'm glowing.
It's unfortunate I might not share the process, but once you download the program, you just double click on this. You go to your download folders in your PC, find the Scratch version downloaded in your PC. Then you double click on it to run the installation. Once it is done, you'll be able to open. Let me just. Okay. So this is, whatever you can see on my screen is the interface of the program that I was downloading just a few minutes ago. Now this is how Scratch looks like. If you can see where I'm pointing on the left side, there's Scratch, and these are what we call the chords, the ones that are moved to 10 steps. Now, changing those steps, the right directions, are what we are going to call chords. Getting the right number of steps you need, getting the right degrees that you need are all that we're going to call chords. So for instance, if we are supposed to make a game right now, which we are not going to do. We are going to do that maybe in our next lesson. But this is how the interface of Scratch program that we're going to use to implement iCompute curriculum looks like. Are you able to see?
Yes.
You're able
Yes.
to see what I'm sharing, right?
Yes, we can see.
Okay,
Yes.
now this is exactly what we are going to use in our lessons, in most cases, to make the simple codes that we need to learn. So just try, for those who are lucky to have PCs at home, just try to go to the internet, use any browser that you have, be it Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Touch or use even Windows Explorer. And I believe once you search Scratch, go for the latest version and install it, and try to run it and see the features. By our next week, I will share some of the simplest tips on how to get the codes right, and then we'll start from there. And unfortunately, our time has run out, and I'd like to thank you for sparing your time and joining the lesson. Anybody with a question maybe before I call it a day? Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's also in chat is also in Microsoft Store.
Sorry.
It is also in Microsoft Store.
Yeah. Actually, you can install it via in your mobile phones as well. I forgot to tell you that you can install it in your mobile phone. One of you, Walid, you remember Walid?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Walid, class 8. He has installed an app in his mobile phone and he's making some amazing work. You can try to get it via the app, the Play Store app in your mobile phones and install it.
Okay.
Try to make something. I will share with you in our next lesson, that is next week, a day like this, a time like this, some of the on how to get the codes right and make something for yourself. Anybody else with a question?
Good morning, Mr. Samora.
Yes.
Good morning.
Anybody else with a
Can you
question?
hear me? Can you hear me? Mr. Samora, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're very low.
Now, my concern is, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hope I'm audible to everyone.
I believe they can hear you.
Yeah, my concern is when we come for Zoom classes, let's make sure that we do not have background noises. Because when we have background noises, it distracts the whole class. So like, for example, now, I don't know which family that is, but there are some kids making noise at the background that is disrupting the class.
Emmanuel, do you hear that? I believe
Yes.
it is Emmanuel's siblings.
Yes, we
Oh,
can hear.
yeah,
Yes.
small brother.
So
Emmanuel,
is it
those must be your
possible
siblings.
that when you are having a class, then they place in another room and you stay in another room where you are, you know, where we can hear what the teacher is saying? Because
Yeah,
when
very true.
the siblings are there, we cannot even hear what the teacher is saying. We tend to get disrupted, all of us. We tend to want to hear the noises your siblings are making at the expense of what the teacher is teaching. I hope I've been understood.
Yes.
Thank
Emmanuel,
you,
the
Mr.
next time we
Samora.
try to minimize that. Our time is up. It is an offer now. Anybody else?
Does it have to be used on online?
Sorry?
Does it have to be used online?
No, I said the program is offline. Once you download it from the internet, once you install it, you don't need internet to work with it. It is offline program.
So,
Anybody else? Hey, hamtaki kuuliza swali? Who is this on Infinix Hot 8? Who is this?
It's Aziz, Abdulaziz.
Ah, Abdulaziz.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm fine.
Any question from you?
No.
Okay, if you don't have any question, allow me to call it a day. We'll post this virtual lesson on my YouTube channel, then I will share it in the class, okay? You can find it for yourself and those who missed to connect because maybe they don't have devices at this moment. Parents are at work with the devices, but I will share the whole lesson. So thank you for connecting.
Ciao.
Okay, anybody?
So how do you call yourself at YouTube?
How do you?
Call
What is your
yourself
account
at
on YouTube?
YouTube.
I can't hear you. Try to be loud enough.
Account.
How do you
Is
call
that
yourself at YouTube?
I will share
your account on YouTube?
the link, then you will get to know my channel.
Okay.
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 Okay. Thank you, and stay safe. Stay safe. Avoid crowded places. Good day.
No, it's